Hello, good evening, and welcome. Stop whinging, please, before we get started, all of the Bootnecks, soldiers and sailors in the chat. I wasn't late. It was 7 o'clock. 5 minutes early is no longer a thing. Certainly not 10, 15, 20, or armoury timings 4 fucking hours early. None of that counts. Right. Alright, before I start whinging, before I forget, Oxford pleasantries. Hello, Oxford? Oxbridge, apparently. It's Oxbridge. Who told me that? Don't remember. Ian McMahon, my new favourite channel. My new favourite Chanel. I'll take the intended compliment for what it was worth. Thanks very much. Two-Tone Duncan. The Evil Druid, Kevin Wright, Kirky Bally, Trent Uyghur, Pepe Le Pew, Glenn Parker, JP's networking channel. All of the locals are in. Zardoz, Yorkshire Boy, Tricky Tree, This Is England, Dave Scott, Professor Andy, Rob Lilly. MGH 1736, The Sash, Sergio, my pal, Whiskey Straight Al, give him a follow if you like getting pissed. Lee Evans, Alan Lloyd, Evil Druid, already done you, Paul G, The Sash Cow Ballard, Matt McCoy, Sean Rye, Davy Boy, Glenn Parker. Again, it's getting busy these days, isn't it? Kev Wright, Bex B, Nathan H, Terry Wookfit, Vivian Needle, Andrew Cooper, Bagpuss, Jeff Wedden, have I done you? Stevie Ray, Ari G. Russell, Ragnar, Mr. Enigma, Mr. Spoon, Michael Taylor, Winston Smith, and it's me. Welcome, you tasteful, sensible individuals who like and follow the Angry Bootneck. I do think Origami Pig, Philip Scott, hello, late arrivals. I do think my name's a bit of a misnomer, really. I think I should rebrand as the jovial, liberal, tolerant Bootneck because, in actual fact, as usual, I don't think I'm quite as angry as I come across. I've actually got to stoke the rage because I don't feel like I'm a bad-tempered chap in general. After a weekend chatting to random strangers in the boozers, I don't think I'm an angry person. Not in real life. I'm an amiable chap, but it's just politics. You can't help but be a little bit raged when you're reading this fucking drivel 7 days a week. However, I suppose the name will fit for now until Susan flings me off the fucking platform. Susan! Must you do this to me, Susan? She did leave my last video alone, though. If you noticed, didn't get an age restriction on it. So I am extremely pleased with that. Yes, John, I'm not angry. Not really. Again, this is the mad times we're living in, isn't it? Because those of you that have watched hundreds of hours of my content probably come to the same conclusion. I'm actually sort of a boring, milquetoast, fucking left-leaning centrist chap. And it's just, we're living in such crazy times that if you're like normal, you know, a normal, centrist, fence-sitting cunt who thinks people should be left alone as much as possible. Basically, that's what I am. A fence-sitting, middle-of-the-road, everybody should be left... I don't like the term libertarian. It's an American term. Hello, Lumpy Custard, how you doing? It's an American term that I don't like, because despite the fact I am an American now, obviously, you can tell by my accent, I'm not a natural-born American. So I'm still not as keen on the American political dictionary, the lexicon, as they say. I'm not keen on their terms. What they call a liberal, they ain't a fucking liberal. And unfortunately, because of the power of the American, ultimately we are all outposts of the American empire in this day and age. The Americans' culture and money and political sway is so powerful that we are just following them all. You know, where they go, we follow. And that can be a hard thing for many British people who are somewhat in love with the past to swallow. But we aren't the big dog anymore, and we haven't been the big dog since the culmination of the Second World War. We were an empire in decline then, made poorer by the First World War, and the Second World War was the final nail in that coffin. It's not the end of the world. I've said it many times before. What real benefit do you get out of living next to the biggest fucking Air Force base on the planet? The happiest people are in Scandinavia. You know, things that make your quality of life better are plenty of time off work, plenty of disposable income, couple of holidays a year, good schools for your children, good quality healthcare, good family and friends, a few hobbies, keep yourself fit. We all know what to do. Again, conscientious fellas like me, I'm a happy person because I live clean and healthy when I'm not binge drinking on occasion. Who said I'm perfect? And I suppose yin and yang, you need a bit of... I'm not one of these people who thinks you should live like a fucking monk. I'm more of a 80-20 type of guy, right? Fitness, clean eating 80% of the time, binge drink on a weekend with my dad, occasionally. And I think that's a sensible way to live your life, right? We've got a problem. I'm about as American as Biden is Irish. Yeah, well, the thing is with Biden, he's about as fucking Irish as a chicken vindaloo, that daft cunt, isn't he? And the thing that really irritates me about Joe Biden, actually, Mr. We Got a Problem has just led me nicely into this fucking story I was going to talk about. Biden struggles to answer Russia questions at a pie shop. Right, now I know this is called BBC Spews Live, but I'm doing this because if I only cover the BBC, you don't see any of the negative press for Joe Biden. Because obviously, they don't want to fucking slag off Joe Biden, do they? So if I dogmatically stick to the BBC for my live streams, we won't get to do any of the fun stuff. Right? So I'm now going to play this for you. And then read you just how much of an empty-headed lackwit this glue-sniffing geriatric really is. Well, and hair-sniffing, but that it can't just be hair. It must be hair and strong solvents, because he has got the IQ of a fucking pork pie, this fella. So just listen to him here. Hopefully the volume works.
Sure who it is for certain, number one. And what I did, I directed the full resources of the government to assist in a response if we determine. What else you need?
Oh, nothing. You're all set.
Okay. And the fact is that I directed the intelligence community to give me a deep dive on what's happened, and I'll know better tomorrow. And if it is either with the knowledge of and or a consequence of Russia, then I told Putin we will respond. And
You didn't tell him already, sir?
no, I haven't called because we're not certain. The initial thinking was it was not the Russian government, but we're not sure yet. So.
Mr. President,
Okay, great. Thank you, guys. Come on,
do you
guys.
think Harry Richardson is banned or temporary ban for marijuana?
These are
Do you
from
think
the
that's fair,
press.
sir? Oh, great.
Those are the press.
We're all going to the
These are
meeting.
right here.
Michigan today? What is it about Michigan coming on the eve of Independence Day? What brought you here?
Cherry pie.
Sir, do you think the ban is fair? Do you think her ban is fair
Look,
for marijuana?
it's the rules are the rules. And
Have you noticed as well that the media love fucking making big kerfuffle about his like fluff? Like they always ask him fluff questions. Oh, what did you come to the store for? Cherry pie. You know, like it's a fucking career laugh. That's what we used to call it in the Marines, a career laugh. You know, when you get some high-ranking general that rock up to your fucking camp and he's walking around and there's a load of young Ruperts there following him about, and he'll say some entirely unfunny, unoriginal comment, and all the officers are like, "Oh, sir, you are a card." The White House press corps basically career laugh through all of those fucking briefings. The job as a reporter is to fucking ask pressing, difficult, niggling questions. Oh shit. Someone might think I said a different word there. Susan will have me by the balls there to ask difficult questions, right? And they don't do it. And if the media aren't doing that, they're not doing the job. The media not asking the president difficult questions is like me and my fellow Marines going into battle, stroking a fucking ceremonial goat and shaking some fucking prayer beads. If you do that, you're not doing your job properly. You're just not. You're not going to do any peacekeeping. I had to guard a girls' school in Kabul when I was doing some... Kabul, I'm saying that like an American as well. Kabul. Pick your poison. I had to guard a girls' school out there because if you give them homework diaries and pencil cases, bearded fucking mountain wizards try to bludgeon them to death because that's the type of mad place it is, right? And you're not doing your job properly if you don't defend them with extreme violence. It would be as remiss of me to go to fucking war with a pencil case as it is for a reporter to ask ridiculous fucking what's your favourite ice cream questions of the president. And the fact that they're not doing the job anymore is fucking remiss. Yes, Scarlett, fucking sandwich shot of a picnic. Sandwich shot of a picnic, he is... There's a light on, but there's no fucker home. Yeah? There's a lift, but it doesn't go all the way to the top. Use whichever your favourite analogy is. Yeah? He's a fucking idiot. And he gets away with it because the press do not ask proper questions. Let me catch up with the chat because we got problems in and everyone's making a fuss. Sounds like Birmingham. I don't know where. I've obviously lost somewhere. Sounds like Birmingham. I'm assuming something about, burning buildings, dead babies outside Aldi. The lift doesn't even got the first floor, Winston. No, it doesn't. Mark McCoy, like and share. Oh yeah, I never tell you to do that. Do that. He's less hot than his son Spoon. Fuck me. Harris is just completely unsuitable for the role as well, isn't she? Nobody is less impressive than Kamala Harris. Every time she's ran in anything, she's lost. Basically, she got the fucking job by playing every card. She said she was fucking living through Jim Crow era shit, and she, was raised by middle-class college professors in the fucking 60s in California. Like, this is why people hate people like Kamala Harris and why she doesn't win anything. And that reminds me, a very similar person to Kamala Harris is Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton isn't disliked. I should make a video about this because I've looked into his background and I was sort of sickened by it. Lewis Hamilton isn't disliked for anything as ridiculous and trivial as what he looks like. Again, in this day and age, just ask yourself some simple questions. In 2021, are people so ignorant and badly educated and irrationally prejudiced that they actually do hate someone just because of the skin tone? Like, no. 99.99% of people hate people because of the things they do and the lies they tell. You can see this as clear as day because the Tories now is full of brown people from fucking... Look at the people in positions of power in the Conservative Party that's fucking got a massive majority. Priti Patel, Sajid Javid, Rishi Sunak. People don't care what you look like. They care what you think. People like me especially. I fucking hate Owen Jones. I hate him. He's an arsehole. I like people that are conservative, regardless of anything else. Douglas Murray, there's a great example. I fucking love Douglas Murray. I watch him every chance I get on The Spectator. Every video he makes, I watch it. And Douglas Murray folds blokes over. Everybody knows it. Do we care? Fuck no. Andrew Doyle, there's another one. Andrew Doyle is into cock. I don't give a fuck about these things. I don't like people that are stupid, which is every communist, ignorant, every communist, and irrational, every communist. Don't care about anything else. Don't care if you've got a fucking set of piss flaps. Don't care if you bounce off blokes shit lockers all day long. Don't care if you like daisy chaining around the gay disco. Couldn't give a monkey's fuck. And Lewis Hamilton is despised not because of what he is, but what he says. because he is a liar. That's as simple as I can put it. Don't care what he looks like, don't care what his profession is, don't care what he does, don't care where he goes, don't care what he puts his cock in. He's a liar, and people don't like liars. Why don't we like liars? Well, fucking hell, the psychologists can tell you better than me. But I would say because nobody can trust a liar. Paedophiles are liars. If someone's been bumming your kids and then you say, have you been bumming my kids? They go, no. That's why we don't like liars. Yeah? Did you push that disabled lesbian down them stairs? No, definitely didn't. Don't like that cunt. He's a horrible bastard. Did you kick that puppy dog up the arse? No. Arsehole. We don't like liars. And Lewis Hamilton has had a charmed middle-class life. No aspect of his life has ever been hard. And he is despised by people like me because we were born and raised in shit towns, in shit circumstances, didn't go to college, didn't fucking get anything for free. Had to work for everything. I was in the coke ovens when I was 16. I was in fucking Afghanistan when I was 20. I work for everything I get. Lewis Hamilton is a middle-class, hyper-privileged, soft-skinned, heavily moisturised fucking noshbag. And all he does is lie. He lies he's a bare-faced fucking liar. Endless, unending rivers of shit leave his gaping maw because he has never had it hard in his entire life. And he's loathed by the working classes because blokes who were born and raised in fucking sink estates and had to crawl through fucking broken glass for everything they've ever had are getting lectured by a privileged middle class, paid for everything by his mummy and daddy, right? Paid for his go-kart when he was fucking 10, posh, upper crust, spoiled, soft-skinned little shitbag. And I'm sorry, but when you're fucking born and raised in some shithole sink estate in somewhere like Hartlepool or Sunderland or Stoke or fucking Leeds or Glasgow, you don't like being lectured to by some fucking hornblower from a £290,000 detached house in some leafy shire just because he happens to have a fucking tan. Give me a bastard break. And don't even start me on that Cory Brooker. That's my least favourite cunt in America. Cory Brooker, Google him. Multi-millionaire. Mother was an IBM executive. Father was an IBM executive. No broken horns, yeah. Mother wasn't sucking crackheads' cocks in a sink estate in Leeds. Fucking privileged. IBM, multi-millionaire. Millionaire, college educated, Rhodes Scholar, went to fucking Oxford. Went to Oxford, and now he's got real power. A man of power, a man of privilege, a man of wealth, a man of status. And he'll tell me, a scruffy northern twat from a shithole town like Middlesbrough, son of a single parent, because my mother died when I was a boy, and that fucking shithead dares point at people like me and say, look at that privileged man. I mean, holy fucking shit. They wonder where these commies come from. The whole thing with the kulaks turning the fucking poor people, the peasants, who just worked hard for like 10, 15, 25 years, scrimped and saved for decades, and finally owned a fucking donkey. And then the commies say, look at them privileged bastards there. Look at them rich fuckers. They're stealing from you. That's what the commies are doing now. The commies, millionaire commies, like Lewis fucking Hamilton, because it's neo-communism. Don't let them tell you any different. They all hate the C word, so they say, oh no, I'm not a fucking communist. You're a communist. AOC is a fucking communist. Owen Jones is a fucking communist. And they'll say, oh no, look how privileged that fucking white man is from the fucking £3 million house in fucking Knightsbridge. And point at some bricklayer who managed to scrimp and save after 11 years, laying bricks in the pissing down rain, and say, he's privileged, that fucker, you should kill him. That's basically what the commies are doing. And then people like me point at the fucking blatantly obvious, and they go, oh, look at that, that's hate speech, that. Me, trying to tell people reject the divisiveness of identity politics. Make decisions based on your individual characteristics. Like or hate people based on the things they say and do. And apparently, I'm the fucking arsehole who Susan has to ban every bastard day. Every week. Oh, look at that hateful cunt. And yet when Owen Jones, Ash Sarkar, goes on TV and says, I'm a literal communist, you idiot, and then promotes outright hatred for poor working class people like me just because I've got blue eyes, and they're the good guys? Are you pulling my fucking pisser? Read a history book. Susan, I read the Gulag Archipelago after listening to Jordan Peterson, and what a fucking eye-opener that book was. Go and read it, you dopey, brain-dead fuck nut. Just go and do that, and get back to me. When you've finally figured out it's not a fucking Rubik's Cube, when you've finally figured out what hate is. And it isn't milquetoast, centrist, individualist politics like what the angry Bootneck preaches. It is the fucking loathing for blue-eyed, working-class fucking scum like me that have to drag everything out of. It's like getting blood from a fucking stone. I haven't had a single penny in welfare in my entire life, ever, because I am working class, salt of the earth. Father raised me to be a proud man, because all a working class person has, ladies and gentlemen, is his fucking pride. And you look at yourself in the mirror and you want to be proud of the man that looks back at you. And I've never had a penny in council tax benefit, whatever that even is, dole, job seekers allowance, you fucking name it, I've never had it. When I left the Marines, I lived off my savings. Before I joined the Marines, I worked in the coke ovens. I left the fucking Marines, I drove a truck for the council, basically a bin man with a driving licence. And then I fell into fucking aerospace by sheer good luck, possibly a bit of charisma, good old nepotism, fucking works wonders for me. And that's where I went. Lucky and also hardworking. And I feel lucky. Done really well. I've never gone hungry. Fucking nice one. But that's my life story. And I'm fucking despised by scum like Ash Sarkar, who's posh as fuck. I believe her mother was a diplomat. I watched her when I was watching a Roger Scruton lecture. These are the boring things I fucking do when I'm doing my ironing or washing pots. I listened to a debate between Roger Scruton and a communist at Oxford. And Ash Sarkar was one of the people who got up and asked a question. I believe she went to Oxford or Cambridge, and her mother was like a high-level diplomat. So another posh, bourgeois fucking communist, and she's having a go at me. It doesn't wash. It doesn't fucking wash. I'm not having it. And like I keep saying, I've said it many times, you're better than them. We are the moral ones. We're the good guys. Do not ever feel inferior to these fucking scumbags, these judgmental, arrogant, spiteful fucking commies. Because you work for yourselves, pay your taxes, go to fucking work every day to feed your children, and you're not bad people. They just want to convince you you're a bad person because you're not a communist. Because they don't... This is the one difference between them. And we all know it. Every one of us that's a fucking unfortunate enough to be a white bloke, right? They don't, when they have power, they don't really categorise by identity politics. They're just using identity politics as a blunt weapon to get where they want to be. It gives them a sniff of power and they're doing it. But when they get power, they don't categorise by what you look like or what your sexuality is or what your gender is. They categorise communists and everybody who isn't a communist. And if you think for a second, if you're a fucking liberal lefty twat watching me for some reason and you're thinking, well, this is weird, why do I agree with some of the stuff this guy's saying? Because I'm telling you this, if they manage to get their hands around fucking the seat of power, do you think they'll be saying nice things about Priti Patel? Do you think they'll be saying nice things about Rishi Sunak? They'll be in the fucking salt mines with everybody else. So if you're not a communist, regardless of what you look like, or stick your cock in, or rub your minge up against, I suggest you come on my side of the fence. Because they'll get to you eventually. Fucking trust me on that. They have the most bigoted shit to say about people like Priti Patel, for example. I mean, have you seen some of the shit they've done? Some of the racial abuse they've threw at Priti Patel, the caricatures they've drew of her. It's blatantly obvious. The only thing I don't understand is why more people don't get it. I'm not Oxford educated, but it stands out like a fucking brontosaurus in a neon yellow shell suit. You can't miss it. Their ideology is about as subtle as a boot in the bollocks. They've casually rebranded it for the 21st century, and it's trivially easy to see what they've done. I do not get it. Anyway, it's a fucking rant. I didn't do any of my news, and it's nearly past already. Let me just get you the bit I wanted to talk about that made me laugh here. So, let me zoom in, you can read it. It was, Mr. President, let me know if I can ask you a question. A smirking Biden, who was in the midst of paying for a cherry pie, as you saw, got fucking massively confused, and ahed, and didn't have a bastard clue where he was, what he was doing, probably shit his pants, don't know. But look at this bit. It says, before he started answering the report again, he was asked by the cashier if he needed his receipt before the video froze. I'll be in better shape to talk to you about it when the video returned. I'll tell you what they sent me, okay? The idea, he began after needing a few moments to collect his thoughts. I guess he missed the F. First of all, because he can barely fucking speak. Oh, nothing. Well, you're all set, she responded when he turned his attention back to the cashier. And then, this is the bit I liked. It says, a clip of the pie shop encounter was tweeted out by the RNC and soon drew concerns. A meme come to life, Twitchy called the clip. Others suggested the exchange showed Biden could be in mental decline. A Trump-era director of national intelligence said Americans are horrified by these weekly videos highlighting Biden's mental state. DC reporters ignore these moments, but we see the media's protecting Biden. Obviously, they're not doing the fucking job. A convenience store worker challenged Biden more than the press corps ever would. Obviously, we've talked about that. And it says Biden was in Michigan as part of a tour to mark the end of pandemic restrictions, thanks to Trump fucking getting on Operation Warp Speed, right? Not Biden. It said Biden said last month, this is the best bit. Biden said last month that COVID-19 killed more Americans than all wars of the past century combined, including the US war in Iran, which never happened. How good's that? Including the US war in Iran, which never happened. Now, hey, I will say in his defence, I suppose COVID-19 definitely didn't kill more Americans than every war of the past century combined. But he is right in that it did kill more people than the fucking US war in Iran because it never bastard happened. So casualties for the US war in Iran, ladies and gentlemen, they are 0 because it didn't fucking happen. So well done, Joe. Golf clap. You fucking idiot. War in Iran, yeah, never happened. Ayatollah Sistani has never been bayoneted by a US Marine. Never happened, mate. So there you go. Guy's a fucking idiot. The American people should have absolute confidence in their president, and they fucking don't, because he's got the IQ of a pull-along duck. The human sausage himself. There you go. I suppose I've got time for one more story. What should I do? Tokyo Paralympics. Most of the TV hosts will be disabled. I picked this one because I don't actually think for once, I don't think this is tokenism from Channel 4. So for once, I'll say, you know what? This doesn't actually bother me. I reckon Paralympians probably know more about the Paralympics than other Olympians. Or Kathy Newman, who doesn't know anything because she's got fucking brains of a rocking horse. So there you go. That's not too bad, is it? I was going to point at that and say, you know what? Again, tolerant, middle-of-the-road twat that I am, I'll give Channel 4 the credit for that one and say, for once, out of their long history of acting like a bunch of jumped-up fucking knobheads, I'll agree with them on that one and say, you know what? I'm happy with that. Also, because I feel like I should bring it out, former Paralympic cyclist and former Royal Marine Arthur Williams is going to be on there. So, well done, Arthur. I'm happy with that. Channel 4, you might reek of neo-communist bullshit 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but even a broken clock is right twice a day, and I will give you the credit you deserve for this one, right? That's a fair shout. I'm all about meritocracy. They're probably the best people to pick for this one, and yeah, well done. Especially good effort for giving a Bootneck his own slot on the breakfast show. Oh yeah, and Steph McGovern. She's a borough lass, so I've got a soft spot for her as well, even if she works for the fucking BBC. And there was a story about a Jewish man getting abused. Again, it's not fucking news. Is it? Get rid of the Jewish bit at the start, and that is the BBC saying, man insulted on the train. Right? Just get rid of that word there. And the BBC, the state broadcaster, is taking the time to say, man insulted by youths on a train. Let me tell you, ladies and gents, that happens 50,000 times a fucking day. And as even me, when I was a snotty 15-year-old punk, probably did abuse people on public transport occasionally. So is it a fucking story? I think we all know the answer to that. It's not news. It's not news. Got no time for anti-Semitism. Got no time for any ism or obia or hatred. Right? But that ain't news. That's teenagers are cunts on trains all the time. Yes, they have. You ever been on a train? Fucking little twats. One of them in Borough shot me in the back of the fucking head with a pellet of some description from a McDonald's straw. The little shit. Why didn't they put that on the fucking BBC? Hairy-arsed commando shot in the back of the head by a fucking little ginger bastard. Because it's not news, that's why. And I was physically assaulted, yeah? I think getting shot in the back of the head with a pellet gun or whatever the fuck it was counts as a physical assault, doesn't it? Much worse than a man being meanly ridiculed on a fucking train. But we are where we are, and the BBC doesn't care when people that look like me get shot on the fucking train. But they care about a bit of verbals from a gobby teenager when he's on their wonderful neo-communist identity politics victim pyramid. Fuck 'em. Right, I think that'll do me for an evening. As always, thanks for watching. That was basically a 25-minute rant in the middle. I apologise. Next time I'll do a bit more news and a bit less swearing. But you guys fucking love it, really. Of course you do. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking it and sharing and doing all of that shit that I never ask you to do because, frankly, I'm bad at administrative tasks. Thank you to my moderators whenever they're in. And, yeah, I'll see you a lot later on. All right? Good evening. See you very soon. Have a marvellous Monday evening. Take it easy. See ya.